I want to get into the supreme mathematics, right? Can you give a brief history of Father Clarence 13X and how he was able to influence so many black men with the teachings of the 5% Nation?
First of all, my father, Lord Shabar God Allah, was what you call 5%. And everywhere I was able to live, everywhere we lived rather, my father would paint the whole wall with the flag, universal flag. I didn't even really know what it was back then. I just used to see this star and this 7 and this pretty stars and diamonds everywhere, and all I knew of it was that. As years progressed, I would learn a little bit by little bit by little bit, and then I got my full lessons as life gave into me from the universe itself. And I was able to be blessed with the lessons of the 5% Nation in a way where others have not gotten a chance to be blessed, right? Like respect due to the I was about to say, I hope, respect due to the ABGB. It's one of the first non-born. It's always kind of hard to get into this because it's a big story. Clarence Joel 13 Smith, all right, or Jaws, people pronounce it. He would have to pronounce the name himself because it's just like Legier and Ledger, right? But the point is, the father called us Allahs with an S, right? And this is according to the father who's still around right now, Father Allah, who teaches the lessons right now, who's holding down the nation right now, who's also with one of the last. When ABGB goes, all not born is gone. Once the God ABGB is gone, he's still alive today, teaching the lessons today. But once that God is gone, all the true lessons of the Father or words from the Father is gone. So we got to take heed to those lessons right now, because these are very important lessons. See, most people only understand the supreme mathematics. People understand the supreme alphabets. But people got to understand the supreme mathematics, the supreme alphabets are the lessons. Where did the lessons come from? Where did God get the lessons from? Where did he get the lessons from? The Father. He got it from the mosque, right? So the lessons come from the mosque. What did the Father also say? He said, after you've done your what? Your 360 degrees and become born, which is the reason why 9 represents born. When you become born, you must do what? Return back to the mosque. All right? You must return back to the mosque. You understand? This is what the Father was trying to teach, and when he was teaching, actually. You understand? And he was teaching us that we are Allahs, not Allah. You understand? He is Allah. We are Allahs with an S. Do you understand? Because this is the lessons that was given from the Father. You understand? And those who understand. Now, let's get down to like the reason all these rappers that like to give this stuff praise, and it's just another fly thing for them. It's another fly way out for them, right? It's another ego box. In life, we all look for ego boxes, and they have found theirs.
Before you move on, explain to the viewers what you mean by ego box.
Everybody wants to be something. Everybody has a feeling to have a need, wants to be needed, wants to count, everybody wants to have a purpose or exist. All these things. So if they're not good at talent, if they're not good at this, if they're not good at that, they're not good at this, they're going to grab something. And you can tell a lot of the ego boxes there because they'll grab and fight for something that's not even in the box, right? Like they'll go and say, break down the word God. And you ask about, what did other 5%ers tell you about what does God mean? Did you ever hear them say, like, we say, what does...
I've never heard a good explanation, tell you the truth.
What kind of, have you heard, like, Gomar Oz Duval? And you was like, what is Gomar? Right? You heard that? Or you heard God Cypher Divine. Did you ever hear that one? You heard that one? I'm going to ask you again, what does God mean? Right? Now tell me God Cypher Divine. Why are you going to say God cipher divine? Because the G's is 7 in the mathematics and the G represent God, but that's not born in the mathematics of what God. He just asked you, what is God? What is G.O.D? Well, y'all say God. When the Father said God, what did he mean? Did he mean Gomar Zubar? No. Did he mean God cipher? First of all, you asking a question with a question inside of the question. You started it off. I said, what is God? You said, God, cipher, divine. Stop. How you going to say God again? I just asked you what was God, and you going to give me the question within the answer? G.O.D. stands for good, orderly direction. This is direct from the Father himself. Do you understand? This is direct from the Father. Good, orderly direction. That's what the God was there for. He wasn't there to try to talk fly. He wasn't there to try to make a new religion, a new da-da-da-da-da. He was there to give enlightenment to who? The children. Didn't you hear that? Didn't you hear that the Father was enlightening the young? Didn't you hear that? How you going to tell the young all these crazy things that they're not even prepared for? That's how you know that it was wrong. You know the God was there teaching the young youth simple stuff that was really easy to understand. Good orderly direction as a God body, me shown and proven and manifested as Buckshot, how to have good orderly direction in life is what makes you God. It's what makes you complete. It's what makes you responsible. It's what makes you have that title of God, because you have now you've now understood your role in life's responsibility. It's no longer about trying to be fly. It's no longer about trying to spread the knowledge and the words and the supreme mathematics of the law versus knowledge, wisdom, understanding. It ain't about none of that. Give somebody a good, orderly direction and you can skip all those fly words. This is what people have to understand. The necessity of the wording or the breakdown for some is because they may need that sub-breakdown. They may need to know that knowledge is first, and then the wisdom gives you what? Wisdom is not just the wise words, but wisdom is the action. Wisdom is the second step. Knowledge is the first step. First you got to, then after you get knowledge, even if you open your mouth, that's the second step. So wisdom is the second step, and the third is understanding, right? So if you make a step and you step in the right direction, that means you understood where you were stepping, right? Or two-step. So you have a great understanding, right? And then it'll born your culture, right? If you have a good understanding, look where I'm at right now. Look at my clothes. Look how I dress. Look how I talk. The way I understand things gives birth to my culture. So when you come around Buckshot, you understand his culture. Don't bring that other stuff around me, because that ain't my culture. You understand? So these are the things that the gods that try to break down, need to break down the mathematics, should break it down in those ways. Not in the knowledge, culture, cipher degree, or the 1 to 40. One of the lessons is why is the poorest man have the, why does the devil have the poorest, why does the devil have the richest part of the planet Earth? Like, we don't need to deal with those things in the lessons. Show them how the devil has the greatest parts of the planet Earth, because he's the devil. He's the devil because he only cares about having the greatest part of the planet Earth. You are God because you care about having all things, not just the planet Earth. Good, sound, mind, body, and soul, spirit, earth, out of here, everything. That's God. You understand? So we ain't gotta, I don't get into all of that. I know my lessons. Why sit here and quote a bunch of lessons for you? Right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just gave you one in the 1 to 40. Like, we can go to Muhammad, but again, I keep saying that because people try to make it seem like the lessons were only the fathers, or only Clarence, or only, you know what I mean? And the Nation of Islam is something totally different. And it's not true. The lessons come from the nation. The father was in the Nation of Islam. He left the Nation of Islam to go teach who? Not the drunken niggas on the corner that like to argue and beef all day and talk about jail talk and want to have ego battles about who know the lessons more or not. He went out to teach the children. Why? Because in the Nation of Islam, you wasn't allowed unless you was a certain age. So the father knew that the youth had to have the lessons before they even got to that point. Stop them early and he won't have to discipline them at that point. That's what the father did. You know what I'm saying? That was his mind frame. Teach the babies. And the babies who grow up in the now, they won't have to have a need to be grabbed off the street and put on the mosque because they doing drugs and all this other crap. Good talk. You know, taking criminals out of jail. Or stop them before they even go to jail. Stop them before they even do the drugs. Stop them as a baby. That's what Clarence taught, and that's why they killed him. That's why he was shot and killed, because, you know what I mean? You know, there's always haters out there. Always haters.
So where did this idea come from that you brought up a great point. Now, I did hear this, that the 5%ers are totally separate from the Nation of Islam. So when did that start in regards to the ideology is separate, but you just explained, and obviously the man was in the Nation and he was taught in the Nation and brought it out in a different aspect. So where did that idea come from where it's two separate?
From a bunch of, when the father died, first of all, he was really unorthodox, but he was very incredible. And once the head is cut, the body falls. You know what I mean? So now it's just a matter, now all types of stuff start happening. We get this name called Nation of Gods and Earth. We was never called a Nation of Gods. Clarence never, where'd that come from? Show me. Clarence never called us the Nation of Gods and Earth. That came later. You understand? Like the God, like all the true gods know. You know what I'm saying? All the true gods know. You know they understand the lessons. Pardon me. Is with the power. Pardon me. The children. The lessons is all about the children. So when Clarence left the Nation and started to build, and he made the lessons readable or legible or understandable for the young. When Clarence did that, it's all good. When Clarence did that, people got to understand that that was automatically going to be seen as something different, because it wasn't the Nation of Islam. So what is this stuff? And Clarence said, I'm going to create something for the babies to understand. First, student enrollment. That's why it's knowledge is the first step. Wisdom is the second. Culture is the third. Power is the fifth. I mean, culture is the fourth. Power is the fifth. You know what I'm saying? 5 fingers, gives you power. You understand? Once you have your 5 fingers together, once you can form a fist, you have that power. The power is within the fist. You understand? And this is what the gods try to teach. So people made it fly because they needed something. It's like a crew. It's like rap groups. You know, different. Once the leaders ain't around, it's, I was the one who really made Wu-Tang. I was the one who really made the Black Moon. I could tell you what they was really about. Here goes. I mean, that's what you had when you had all these Nation of God nerds and 40 or 50-year-old dudes drunk and beefing, barking, arguing with each other, telling you the white man's a devil and all this other crap. But 90% of them got a white wife. You know what I'm saying? It's like just tell the truth. Like, you feel me? Just be truthful with yourself. Don't quote those lessons saying that the white man's a devil because he was created by Yaakov, grafted. Don't quote those lessons, but then know in your heart that you feel like carrying as your wife is not a devil. Feel me? Stick to your heart. Stick to your heart. Don't stick to something that you just quoting if you don't really feel it, especially and don't quote it like you feel it when you do quote it. If it ain't the truth to you. You feel what I'm saying? Let it be a lie to others. You know what I'm saying? If it's not the truth to you, let it be a lie to others. Yeah, that's the most important thing to remember about the Nation of Gods of Earth, man, and the 5% nation and everything like that. Good, orderly direction. You understand? All that, everything else is just, it ain't, man. It ain't even it. It ain't even what it's about, man. Some of these brothers, I don't care if you know your lessons or you don't know your lessons. You understand? You are 5%er. Why? Because you are 5% of the nation's planet Earth, poor, righteous teachers that's teaching the babies, 5% of the planet Earth. You understand? So, yeah.